Hey there. I am Josh Toxius Watson. I can hear myself. I didn't realize how disorienting that would be. Hello. Oh, we're going in right to it. Okay, welcome to the busiest weekend in gaming. Um, we are kicking off this very long weekend with a lot of content with a solo stream from yours truly. I will be reacting to the accessibility showcase. Our co-host Joshua Fajon will be here at 3 o'clock CST on the dot. We will be here to provide a pre-show for Summer Games Fest. We are official co-streamers of Summer Game Fest, as you can see with this cool little thing right here. I don't know if I'm on the right side of the screen, but I hope I am. But we are official co-streamers for Summer Games Fest, and this weekend's sure to bring some fun news, honestly. We have 10, 9, 8, 7. Let's switch over to the showcase so we can look at what's next in gaming. Okay, so this showcase is meant to highlight. I'll let her explain it. I bet she's going to. Sorry for the sound. If you can't hear, we're getting that fixed. My wonderful producer Sam is going to be assisting me alongside this entire journey this weekend. So there are sure to be some bumps, but we will get them figured out in due time.
Disabled game developers, and all of them are being designed to be accessible to as wide a range of disabled players as possible. We can't promise that every video game in the showcase will be playable by every person tuning in, but our aim is to make sure that if a game seems exciting, you know upfront whether or not you're going to be able to play it. Our hope is that for most of you tuning in, there will be at least a handful of games shown in the showcase that will have the correct mix of accessibility settings and features that you need to be able to play the game upon release. If you want to see most of today's games in one place, organised by accessibility support type, you can check out our Steam event page by going to bit.ly/Summer Showcase 2025. There you'll find demos for each game, as well as being able to wishlist any that catch your eye. This year's showcase is sponsored by Many Cat Studios, an innovative game development studio creating new solutions to barriers in gaming through recruitment or engaging with video games. The Accessibility Summer Showcase is available with American Sign Language, British Sign Language, and audio-described versions every year, and Many Cat Studios' support this summer was vital in helping us to produce these additional versions of the event. Well, that's enough from me. Let's jump into the game trailers.
Welcome to Chromagon 2, a
yes, so they said what this is. It's just to highlight, making video games more accessible to disabled people. And that's the kind of thing we want to highlight here at OU Esports, is just making video games for everyone, right? And so I really wanted to watch this one live for that reason, especially. But this looks like Portal.
Could struggle to differentiate between key elements of the game. That's why we created the colorblind mode, a revolutionary accessibility feature designed to make Chromagon 2 playable for as many players as possible.
I feel like the colorblind mode was prettier, I'll be honest, than the basic mode.
Is marked with a circle. Red, a vertical line.
This is going to be much more chill. The rest of this weekend is going to be much more boisterous, loud, fun. I, however, am alone this morning, and it is the morning, so I'm a little tired. But I'm going to do my best to make this entertaining for you guys. I'm
what about mixed colors? We've got
not the greatest at doing things alone, but I will do my best.
Theory, combining blue and red creates purple. In colorblind mode, this means the blue circle and red line merge into a new recognizable symbol, a circle with a stripe. This system ensures that colorblind players can experience every puzzle, every challenge, and every moment of Chromagon 2 without compromise.
This is very Portal. Oh my god, it's a chicken.
Chromagun 2, a first-person puzzler with colors, also accessible for people with color blindness.
Sam, could you get rid of those captions, please?
Spray Paint Simulator is a relaxing and satisfying game that allows you to express your creativity
very
as you
much.
take items from drab to fab. You'll start your own spray painting business, meet with some of
Only-
Splatterville's most eccentric clients.
This reminds me of
requests.
House Flipper.
You'll manage
Or I guess the
painting
vibe.
supplies,
Kind of a mix between a House
fix
Flipper
house
and
equipment in your space,
what was it?
paint to perfection.
Power
After
washing
completing
simulator.
jobs, you can unlock free spray mode, allowing you to paint everything you can reach to your heart's content, alone or with a friend. The team at North Star Video Games, in collaboration with Whitethorn Games, has worked hard to make sure that their game can be played by as many people as
That's fun.
possible,
This looks relaxing.
and has
I
implemented a number of features
I need
to
a
enhance
relaxing game from time to
accessibility.
time. So, especially on mornings like
In
these
Spray Paint
where
Simulator,
it's
complete
so
jobs
quiet
at
and
your own
so
pace. There are no time penalties,
alone.
and you can leave a job at any point and pick up right where you left off the next time you play. You also have the option of skipping the preparation phase so you can jump right
Alright.
into painting.
Whoa!
Use
Hey,
the task highlight feature to
Alright.
show areas you need to mask
It's
or paint.
Sam
You
Ayrton.
can edit the duration
how's it
of the
going?
highlight so
I'm
it stays visible
producing this
longer,
for you guys
and you
today.
can change the highlight color so
I
it will stand
seen
out no matter what color
that
you're painting
Josh
with.
was struggling on his own a little bit, so I put my mic in and I'll
There
hop
are a
on with him.
variety of options to
Um,
fine-tune how you play,
sorry if my mic
making
quality
sure
is
that
a
your spray
little
paint is
different from
perfectly
his.
suited
It's
to your
just the
preferences.
video
Follow between
link
tap and
that we're
hold
using
inputs,
to facilitate this, so the
adjust the
quality's
size
a
of
little
controller
off,
dead
but
zones,
it's okay.
and
But
separately
you're right,
adjust
this
the
does really
sensitivity
look
of
like
camera movements while walking and spraying.
House Flipper.
Yeah, and
You can
I
also
don't know
use
if you
aim
ever
mode to
watched it
keep the camera
or
still
saw
while you
it,
move
but
the
do you know
spray
Power
paint,
Wash Simulator?
allowing you to paint details with
Yeah,
ease.
I did. I have seen that.
Yeah, this feels very much like a mix between
For
the two of
better
those
visual
games.
accessibility,
Right.
you can customize the amount
Because
of
like the
camera smoothing,
painting kind of
increase
seemed
reticle
similar
size,
to like the pressure
and
washer.
set the field of view
Yeah.
between 40 and 90 degrees. There are also separate audio channels
Can I say
for
something?
ambient sound effects.
I have never been able to play games at
Spraying
high
sound
FOV.
effects,
Not in my life, ever. I know it's like a competitive
and
competitive
music,
advantage,
Mhm.
but I just can't. I can't. It
as
hurts my
well as a
head.
choice of
I have to.
stereo
I can
or
only
mono
play
audio.
video games at whatever FOV like they
As
is
always,
the
you
base one
can
they
get the
allow.
full details about the accessibility
Yeah,
features available
I
in this and
I
any
guess I
other
got used to
titles
it. I
by
used
visiting
it on like
whitethorngames.com and
Minecraft way
clicking on
back
the
in the day, you
accessibility
know, like
section.
the Quake Pro, and
Yeah.
and then now
If you
it's
enjoy
like
playing Spray Paint
I use it
Simulator,
on like Call
available
of
now on
Duty,
Steam,
like the
Xbox
zombies and
Series
stuff, and
X,
then I just got so
Xbox
used to
Series
it to where
S,
it's like if I use the
Xbox
normal
One,
FOV,
Xbox Game
everything
Pass,
looks
and
too zoomed
PlayStation
in.
5 and 4, and will be
Yeah.
available
I mean,
on
I'm sure
Nintendo
it sure
Switch
just
on
comes
June
with
19th.
like exposure.
Yeah.
But like anytime I like,
When you hear
especially watching the
accessibility,
Apex team
recognize
play,
that the needs of
it's
blind
like
gamers are often
miserable.
overlooked by the games industry at large. With
Like I like
relatively
looking
Yeah.
over their
few
shoulders and watching
publishers
them play. It's
tackling
like
making
I
their
feel
games
like I'm.
accessible for partially
Just feel like it
sighted
feels
or
like an out of
sightless
body
blind
experience
players.
anytime I'm watching them play their game.
So, every year we
Yeah,
make an
yeah,
effort
it
to bring
is
you new,
like if you're not used to it, it
interesting
does
and
look a little.
creative games to
It's
showcase
like
that are
it's
able to
either
be
you're
playable
used
by
to
a
it
wide range
normal
of blind
FOV or you're
gamers,
used to the
ideally
wide.
without requiring sighted assistance. This year, as part of our push to
Yeah, this is
showcase
awesome.
more
Doing
blind accessible games,
the
we paid attention to the
accessibility
Games for Blind
showcase.
Gamers
That
Game Jam,
definitely is
an
very
event in its
important
fourth year
in our
trying to
industry.
encourage
It's
creative game design
you know,
exploration
one
focused
thing
on
that
blind player
we preach a
accessibility.
lot at OU
That
Esports
said,
is
I'm
you
not
know,
blind
gaming's for
myself,
everyone,
so I'm going to
and
hand
that
this over
means
to
making
someone
it
who was involved
accessible
in
for
this year's
everyone
event,
and
so they can tell you about the
having
games that won
everybody,
and some
you know,
interesting
have
projects you might want to keep an
the
eye
most
on.
opportunity
Hello
they
there,
can
this
to
is Piotr. I
experience
was one of the
the
judges for the
you know, the
Games for
product or
Blind
whatever
Gamers 4 Jam.
the
Being
game.
a part of this event, both as a judge and
And
also just a
it's
gamer
just it's
participating
awesome to
and
see,
trying out
you
all
know,
the games,
without
was honestly really amazing.
developers putting
Because
in
the
this
game jam
putting
itself
in
is not
the
new. We've
effort
had a couple
to make it
before, but I
accessible.
think
If
this
it
year was
you
really
know, some people
unique
would
in
just be
terms of
like out of
quality and
luck
the
and they
kinds
wouldn't
of
be able
games we had
to
before. Because
really
more often people
experience
gravitate
the
toward
game
when
to
they
what
think of a
they
game
should to
accessible
the
to
degree
blind
that they
gamers. It's
should,
usually really simple
and
concepts,
it's
like a
nice to
simple maze
see
where you're trying to
the
find your way
industry,
out, or
you
like a
know,
Simon type game where
accommodate
you have to repeat sounds
and
based on
help
by
out.
pressing buttons, for example.
Yeah, no.
this year we
I mean,
got a lot
100%. I
of
think that
games
especially in the
that
last few
I think
years,
set the bar
we've
much higher and showed that
we've
blind
made
people can play
the
much more complex games
industry
now.
has made
And the
great
winner that
strides
we picked
in
was one
making
of just
games in general
amazing
more
examples. Actually, the
accessible.
winner this year was
Especially,
incredibly
I mean, The
talented.
Last of Us
And
2,
the game that ended up
I
ultimately
believe,
winning
won
Call
an
of Duty
accessibility
that
award
year
at
was
the
really
at
cool because
Jeff
it
Keighley's
kind
Game
of
Awards.
subverted the blind protagonist trope, which is also something
Because
that was really
it's
popular,
just,
where
you know, it's
some
very
blind
clear that
person saves the day
uh,
by swinging a
that's
sword
what
around, for
that's
example.
what we want to
Well, in
push
this
towards in
game,
the
you are a
industry
blind
is
person
making sure
saving the
that
world, but
video
you're
games
not
can
the
be
main
for
hero.
everyone.
You're just part
Right,
of
And
the
right.
heroes, and actually, you're not the one that
I
saves the
actually
world.
did a
You're
little bit of
being the
research
hero for the party,
into
and
this
also
showcase
maybe the most
itself.
stunning the enemy
The
or
lady that we saw earlier that runs the showcase, they she has been doing this for a long time. She's been making like they're called accessibility reviews, where she like goes into a game and uh, basically tries and sees she tests it in accessibility, right? Kind of like, I don't know if you it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of like the same vibe where there was this person a while back. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to test graphics capabilities of video games to see like if it was playable on like certain hardwares, like if you could
Right.
if you could mess with the graphics enough to make sure that anybody who was even maybe less fortunate to not have the highest NPC could play a game or not, right?
Right, right.
So it's kind of a similar vibe to that, and I mean, it's very, very, very interesting and very good. Sorry, we're kind of talking over the games here. I'm more so wanted to get across the message, right?
Mhm. No, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that there were people that did like a job like that. But it makes sense, because they'd go in and then basically like have different things in mind that they're testing for, like the colorblind modes and the whatever. And yeah, that's cool. So you said that she does that like specifically.
Yeah. So like, if you look at, and this is actually what this is streaming on, is her channel, is her personal channel, and if you like look at her, she has a playlist of like several hundred videos of just testing games on accessibility, uh, and it looked like she'd been doing it for a few years now. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's very, 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 very important for our industry.
I'd wonder if that's is she employed by a uh development company, or is she like freelance that like the development companies reach out to her to like test their games?
I believe she's freelance, but they definitely should,
Right.
because clearly she has experience in the industry in that capacity, right? Um, but I'm sure that is a job now, though, is making sure that things are accessible, and that's why people do focus groups and stuff like that, is to like bring it to a small group of people, a focus group, and try and uh, pick out any issues that it may have before it releases.
Right, right. So let me turn this up
Willing
again.
to test the game for you, provide feedback, and obviously when the game actually comes
I'm
out,
very
play
confused about what
and
this
enjoy
game
it.
is.
Me too.
And of course, if you want to see how you can do that, and
Maybe
also
we
have
should
a
have
lot
been
of fun
paying
along the
attention.
way, please do check out the entries that were submitted this year.
It looks
Not
like
just the
they're just
ones that
running
won,
across
but
dots.
also really
Right.
every other game that was out that was submitted, because they were really accessible, really well made,
Bottles
and of
recovered.
course,
Oh,
something
is this
most
an
important,
accessibility mode?
really fun.
Thank you so much to
Ah.
everyone who brought this year's Games for Blind Gamers game jam to my attention.
Yeah,
It
games for
was home to
blind
Oh,
so
gamers.
many
Okay.
beautiful,
right.
fantastic games that I highly
So I
recommend
bet
people
that
check out.
I mean, I don't want to say I
You
bet.
can
I'm not
find
gonna
Game
actually
Jam,
make any
Jam,
assumptions,
all of
but
the
perhaps that
entries
was,
at
if I were to be paying attention, I could give you a rock solid answer,
The
but that
only
might have
game
been
outcast
through
completely
vibrations
rejected
that was
was
being played,
The Unseen Awakening.
Mm,
The trading
or
simulator
any
like
Secret
or
of the
sound.
sound
Lost
or
World
something like that.
Right,
lacked
Yeah.
its
right, right.
opportunitas. The coffee shop game was called
To us, it didn't look like
Barista,
anything because, well, we're not
and the
blind.
real-time strategy game was called Necromancer Nonsense. Please explore the full list of submissions. We only had limited time today to highlight a few favourites, but there are so many great submissions this year worth playing.
Hi everyone, Wobbly Gamer here.
Hello, the Wobbly
Accessibility
Gamer.
Advocate and Junior Accessibility Specialist at Manycat Studios. When Laura came to me and asked me to tell you all why accessibility is important, the first thing that came to mind for me was a story from an event I was at in 2023. I was volunteering on a stand put together by Adapt IT. It was an accessible gaming stand with a number of accessible gaming setups, and we were allowing people to come and experience accessibility firsthand, whether disabled, abled, or a gamer. And we had this young family come to the stand. The young girl herself was 6-7 years old, had quite bad cerebral palsy, was currently in a walker, and she was Paw Patrol mad. All she wanted to do was play Paw Patrol, and she couldn't. So we got her set up on the accessible kit from Xbox, got her set up on that, and
You know, I've played the Paw Patrol game.
Paw Patrol. Her
Oh,
mum
really?
started crying.
Yeah, I've played a lot
Her
of
dad
Paw Patrol
started
game
crying.
actually.
Nice.
Like
nice.
Her
I have
excitement was just
I have a
so
niece,
unreal, which led
and
to
she's
me
obsessed with it. And
and
so whenever
Simon
we were
from
staying
Adapt
over
IT
there
both crying.
for the holidays, we were staying over at
And
my brother's house for the
for me,
holidays.
that really hammered home why accessibility is important.
We brought our
because we don't do
consoles,
it for
and
us,
all she wanted to do was play
we do
Paw
it for
Patrol.
the
And
enjoyment of
we
others.
were forced every
And
single
for
time
me,
we
you
had to
can't
pick
recreate
Sky.
that.
We had to play
It
as
was a
Sky,
young girl
or else
that
she would
was
get
that
upset.
excited to be playing a game. She couldn't
And
handle her emotions, and she burst into
that
tears.
was
And I think for me, that's what it's
probably
all about.
about 15 to
It's
20
about
hours of
making
my
a difference.
vacation was just playing Paw Patrol with her.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Darcy.
I played a little bit because my little brother had liked he had a Paw Patrol game on the Switch, so I played a little bit with him. I don't know which one, if there are multiple. I'm not sure.
I played like the Mighty Superheroes one. I
Let's see.
don't remember which one that is. But it was surprisingly fun.
The one that I played, I think I remember. It was like a platformer type thing. I think
Okay.
the one that I played was the On a Roll, Paw Patrol On a Roll.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I played. Hang on. Let me get up.
Management visual novel. In each scenario, you choose appropriate quests for the heroes in your roster to help them to level up,
Quest Giver.
as well as navigate dialogue choices to try to get
This
one
is
of the
cool.
good endings.
I like the art.
Quest Giver is a text-heavy game, so for ease of reading, we've included 2 font options.
It is very
either
pretty.
Neutral Pixel font or an easier-to-read sans serif.
Yeah, see, that's a big thing is readable fonts. I know that's a
Right,
huge part of accessibility. People do that on Twitter too, is make everything readable.
Yeah, this kind of gives me the Stardew Valley type of, like, of course it's a little different, but it does kind of, like the text
Our
boxes.
second game is Six-Sided Stories. It's a chill puzzle game with relaxing lo-fi
Yeah,
beats
it was
and
called
cute animals.
Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay. That was the game that we played.
Nice.
And it was surprisingly fun. I enjoyed myself. Call me a child for that. I enjoyed myself playing Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay.
In Six-Sided Stories, the relevant features are baked into the game design itself. Since it's like a jigsaw puzzle, you can play at the pace you want and there's no fail state. There's no text at all in the game, greatly increasing accessibility. Color is an important aspect of the game, and so the palette and puzzle pieces were made with this in mind to accommodate colorblind players. And finally, there are 2 hint systems. You can view the full puzzle image at any time, like looking at the top
Also,
of
I
the
will
box.
say,
And
if you
the
want
correct
to
piece will
watch
occasionally
the
wiggle to
showcase without us talking over it, feel free to. It's on YouTube, just at the Accessibility Summer Showcase. I understand that if you would like to, this is a talk show, however, so we will be talking over things. But if you would like to go watch it without us talking over it and yapping, because we have guarantee we're going to do that, especially when Josh gets here, because we neither of us can shut up ever.
Declaration table.
So if you want to watch it without us talking over it, it is at the Accessibility Summer Showcase 2025 on YouTube.
Our studio's goal is to make our games playable by anyone who wants to play them, so we're doing our best to make our games accessible, as well as making sure that they run on low-spec computers. We are just 2 novice developers, so we're always open to feedback about how to make our games more accessible. Please get in touch if you have any suggestions. And if you like the look of Quest Giver or Six Sided Stories, they're
Oh,
both
I thought
available
those
on
were
Steam
the
now.
same game.
The same game. I was honestly really confused because I was like, this looks nothing like what we were just looking at.
Yeah, exactly.
In which you capture and train animals to challenge and defeat the boss of each region. Combat evolves around rolling and spending dice
Pokemon.
to activate your moves,
Yo.
called tricks. Different effects can make your moves even stronger, such as
Yo,
rolling a double
dice
or matching
Pokemon.
the colors, allowing for building around certain
That's sick.
strategies by matching trick effects and dice.
Oh, this actually looks sick.
Features a selection of
Actually does look
accessibility
pretty cool.
settings, which I'm constantly improving and adding to, such as the text-to-speech mode, which features screen reader support for native OS text-to-speech systems and NVDA.
I will say one thing.
During a battle, all
Can we please get a better
information is
voice
read out to
for text-to-speech in
Yeah,
video games?
right.
Because it's awful.
Calbu, wild enemy.
Exactly.
Press C to hear all controls.
AI has to be at a point where we can get better text-to-speach voice.
And it is,
right?
yeah. I mean, there you like. Have you ever seen those like Artlist.io ads?
Yeah, like
On-
it's better. It's gotten better. Can we please change the text-to-speech voice? I can't stand the. Please click inventory.
Snap.
yeah, it sounds like.
Critical chance, 6% damage.
Yeah, I swear that was the same like AI voice that we used like 20 years ago.
Yeah. You know, like the space game with like the text-to-speech and like the chat. It was like John Madden, John Madden, John
Yeah,
Madden,
yeah.
John Madden.
Dagger, a mix between a bug and a mute. It has a blue body with green spots and a white belly. 2 sets of external gills decorate its cheeks.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
has lavender
I like that.
eyes and is looking gentle.
I like the descriptive
The
text.
levels are
Yeah,
glowing from its
yeah.
eye.
You can play the game with a mouse, keyboard, or gamepad, and even touch if you're playing on the Steam Deck. And you can remap all controls in the settings. For players with color vision deficiency, I have made sure to pair all color information with icons.
Diftagua.
Additionally,
Narilla.
you can fully customize
Worrico.
colors of UI categories, such as Anemone elements, rarities, or positive and
This is
negative
neat. I think
effects.
this one looks cool.
Other
I like
UI
the dice
features
thing.
are enabling the
Yeah,
open
it looks
flexible
like a
font
Switch game.
and scaling the UI elements or the text size. With the difficulty customizations, you can select how many dice the enemy has, how much damage you receive or deal, including invincibility, that you defeat enemies with 1 hit, or that capture
Invincible
always
Pokemon.
100%. If Soul Blaze has piqued your interest, give the demo a try and wishlist the game. Thank you so much.
That's pretty cool.
Hi everyone.
That is really interesting.
Laura here again. This next game is a title that I think is tackling a deeply important topic, but one that's not often covered in video games, and is being approached from a more hopeful perspective than you might expect given its initial pitch. The game touches on difficult themes, in this case, life after childhood sexual abuse. I believe this game has incredible potential and is really worth showcasing, but I wanted to give people a moment of heads up as to not be caught off guard by the topic. I hope you check out the trailer. I do think this game is doing something incredibly special and important.
If you did hear that, that is triggering for you. Just letting you know that is happening in this trailer.
It's meant to be
So
played by everyone, gamer or not. The game alternates between 2 phases: the park, which is a simplistic theme park management game, and the memories, which play like a visual novel or an interactive comic. Both can be played with a mouse, a keyboard, an Xbox controller, or any combination of those. Wednesday's first launch will always be in windowed mode to allow the use of various accessibility tools. The settings are accessible from the start and at any time during the game. Wednesdays being a narrative game, a lot of care has been put into the accessibility of text. Players can advance in the story manually by clicking or pressing a button, or they can choose to have the text scrolling automatically with 3 different speeds available. The park and the memories use different fonts, but
I
the
do
content
like
can be replaced by
theme
a
park
highly
management
legible
games.
alternative font.
Yeah, like
5 sizes
what was
are
that
available,
one
from very
that was
small
forever is like the
to very big.
roller coaster.
Planet
If you skip
Coaster.
a line by
Yeah,
mistake
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
want to
Yeah,
refresh
yeah.
your memory, all the
Yeah.
previously played dialogues are available
Though
in the
this
dialogue.
this looks kind of
The
cuter
text
than
is
Planet
always
Coaster.
highly
Oh,
contrasted,
it definitely does.
and all the color palettes were chosen with different degrees
The
of
interactive
colorblindness in
storybook
mind.
part
No essential
kind of
information is
reminded
ever
me of like
transmitted
Doki
by color.
Doki.
In the park,
Yeah, I
the
can
cursor
see
movement
that.
speed can be adjusted. The drag and
It
drop
also kind
can
of
be
reminds me, God, what game was
deactivated,
that?
as well as the animations
Oh, that's
can
gonna
be
bother
turned
me
out to
actually.
be annoying or distracting.
There was a
Music and
game.
ambient sound volume, as well as the sound effect volume,
I cannot
can
remember
be
what it
adjusted
was.
independently. The game contains no 3D audio effect, and all important sound effects are dubbed with a visual.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Wednesdays requires no precision, or speed, or complex sequence of actions. It contains no flashing lights, no haptic feedbacks, and never requires to hold down a button. The game is available on Steam, but also on itch.io for those who don't want to create an account nor
What game
learn
was
how to
this?
use a complicated Steam client.
I'll find it.
This is Heartspell, Horizon Academy, the upcoming puzzle-based dating sim with heartwarming stories and 11
Candy Crush.
playable characters. Accessibility is at the core of
I
Heartspell.
might not find it.
Its writing and design. The branching narrative gives players
Yeah, I'm not gonna find it.
with
Damn.
romantic and
Nope, sorry. My apologies.
Tell me what it is. The puzzles are challenging, but have no time pressure. And at any time, players can adjust the difficulty or remove the puzzles entirely. To make the story as accessible as possible, Heartspell offers dyslexia-friendly fonts and an option to increase font sizes. All 280,000 words of Heartspell's story are voiced by our cast of talent.
280,000?
Calm down. I know what a date is. You're probably awesome at dates. How hard can it be?
That's insane.
That's
That's insane, right?
To see, and no reason not to date all of them.
Heartspell also has more specific options like arachnophobia mode, and
Oh, that's
the
kinda
team is
cool.
always taking community suggestions for ways to make the game even more inviting.
Wow, you're amazing. Hasty. Yes.
I never thought about accessibility
Heartspell has a
for
fears?
with over
for
90
yeah,
minutes
for
of
phobias.
content to introduce its
Yeah.
gorgeous world and memorable characters. I hope I'll see you there.
Here is Gales of Nayeli, a narrative-driven strategy RPG from
This
Blind
looks neat.
Coco Studios.
This does.
As a colorblind developer, we believe that strategic depth shouldn't come at the cost of accessibility. As a result, Gales of Nayeli has been built from the ground up with lack of color vision in mind, and is jam-packed with other accessibility features and gameplay modifiers to help tailor the game to your needs. For instance, there are options to receive more strategic advice from Daisy, the helpful fairy, or to make faction indicators more visible to differentiate.
And another big part of like wanting to showcase these smaller showcases is,
The effect
I mean, me and
also
Joshua,
return damage to reduce
the other
false
co-host,
damage
have been
during battle.
hammering home this point throughout the entire podcast, really, that I mean, with how greedy the AAA games like atmosphere is becoming, we always hammer the point home that indie games are just as fulfilling and good, if not better, than some AAA games, and it's very important to us to get the point across that you know, indie games are important for the industry.
No, yeah,
right?
definitely.
Like,
Definitely, and there's, like you said, they can definitely be more fulfilling and satisfying to play in a lot of ways than AAA games, like, you know, like we've seen with Stardew Valley and like Hollow Knight, right? That's what
yeah,
yeah.
Hollow Knight is Joshua's. Y'all are gonna hear about it because
Yeah,
there's some stuff
yeah.
going on in Hollow Knight right now, and y'all are gonna hear about it at 3. But yeah, it's definitely. I'm expecting that there's going to be Hollow Knight news today, and I'm expecting that Josh is going to lose his mind. So I'm looking forward to that.
I am as well.
Hi, we're Krillbite Studio, and we wanted to give you guys an update on our game, Sunlight. In addition to the existing subtitles, we've added audio description to the game, making it accessible for more people so they can enjoy this philosophical hike through a beautiful forest. Here's how it plays out.
Audio, controls, accessibility.
See what I'm saying? Can we fix the voice, please?
Yeah, right. Like it's nice to have, but I would get that voice would get old pretty fast.
It also talks so slow.
Yeah.
New leaves and branches spring from it as
People
it
don't
grows
talk
into a
that
tall,
slow.
lively tree in a lush forest.
Welcome. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you focused? And not thinking about whatever's bothering
Yeah, let's get this guy to voice act though.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just call him. Have him sit in the room unattended for like 72 hours and just let him get all of them out.
Listen to the sounds of flowers. Keyboard controls. Move forward with W, left with A, right with D, and backwards with S. Pick up and lay down flowers with space.
This is a pretty game for being a first-person indie game.
Sunlight is a calm experience with no fail state, no rush, and no pressure to complete it. No matter where you go, you'll end up in the right place.
Follow this sound to find flowers. You are now standing by a flower. Press space to pick it up. You've picked up one flower.
Okay.
A wave of gentle needles moving over my skin.
You are now standing by a flower. Press space to pick it up. You've picked up another flower.
This is hypnotizing.
The sun sets. It's getting dark. At the
I wonder
outskirts
what's
of the
the
forest, there are endless fields
like
of
what's
cut
the
tree
objective here?
Sunlight's update is out now to experience. Thank you for your attention.
It's just the experience, I
think
guess.
just yeah.
You might have heard about survival climber Karen and
Oh, I know
thought the game was
Karen.
gonna be intense and
Nice.
challenging. Well, this is true. But the team has also put a lot of effort in to make sure people with different skill levels and abilities can enjoy
The
game.
heavy
Here's
outlines
what we've been working
give
on.
like
Karen is a climbing and alpinism game where you
Borderlands.
choose your own
Yeah,
path
Yeah.
and your own difficulty as you overcome a mountain. You need to balance your
I remember
stamina
seeing this
and your
game.
position on the rock
I
face
can't remember if it
to
was at
climb
Summer
higher.
Games Fest or at
There
Game
are
Awards,
no
but it was a
predetermined
couple years
routes
ago
to
that
the
this
mountain,
was first
meaning
shown.
you can choose the one that is right for you. Just be sure to take care of yourself with food and water so the mountain doesn't claim another victim. We think our newest accessibility
this is
option
sick.
is going to be especially impactful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This mechanic allows you to undo any action in the game. You can even see your stamina usage on the rewind bar. After a fall, hit the rewind button and you can go right back to where you want to be.
Yeah, this is
and
awesome.
then you can keep climbing. Not only can you use rewind to take back a mistake, you can also use it to explore and experiment to make your climbing journey in Cairn yours.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this game. I actually want to play this.
Cairn also
I do
features
too, this
fully
is dope.
rewindable controls, so you can make your climb feel just right.
I also want to get into like real rock climbing.
Really?
Yeah, like I've done boulder walls and stuff like that, but like I want to like actually like go to a mountain.
Enable limb highlighting,
Yeah.
or you can even disable quick
A lot of
reaction
my
minigames
friends did
like
that
veto
out in
drill.
Colorado, and
Holt's
I don't
feedback
know.
is
It's not
also
it's not for
available, so
me.
you always know when you have a good grip. And of course, we have 3 difficulty options, so you can pick the challenge that's right for you. You can play the demo right now on Steam.
You know,
and PlayStation
Robber's
5.
Cave.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times, for church camp, and I always had a lot of fun. It's not really even a mountain over there. I don't even know what I would classify that
Yeah.
as, but it was what is this game?
Don't they?
It's like
isn't-
Vampire Survivor.
This is like, don't they call that style kind of like a roguelike? I'm not too sure.
Well, a roguelike is just a game where like when you die, like you like keep things from past runs,
I see. Okay.
and but like you like restart.
Yeah.
Visually, it's of course fun when there's lots of particles and explosions and so on. But it can also
This is more like a Vampire Survivor type game. It looks like, but I don't exactly know what that type of game is.
can toggle particles.
Yeah, because I've seen
animations, explosive
stuff like that,
flashes,
obviously,
and
like that where
numbers as
you're
green
like top
screen.
down,
You
and
can
then it's
adjust
like
the
there's just
viewability
huge
of the
swarms, and you're
background
just going
to
around.
be muted
Yeah.
or pure dark gray. And there's a color highlighting mode, which turns enemies and enemy shops.
It is interesting though to like have like create your entire own
while muting all other colors.
like
like
airship or whatever.
There
vehicle.
are two gameplay options worth mentioning. You can turn off permadeath, and you can freely adjust the game's speed. I hope that with these options, you can customize the game for your maximum enjoyment. Check out the game on Steam, and if you have any suggestions for my accessibility controls, let me know.
Hi everyone, my name is Danny Brennan, also known as Dannyline online.
Hello, Danny Brennan.
My pronouns are they, them, and I'm a white person lying in bed, wearing a purple top, hat and glasses, surrounded by penguins.
I just realized they've been doing. I thought it was weird the way they were describing themselves. I just realized that was for accessibility. That's really clever.
Oh, right.
Isolated despite living mostly in bed. My hands don't
I was like, what a weird thing to point out.
Yeah.
On bad hand days, the only way I can play games is with a touchscreen, which is why I'm thrilled to be able to introduce this next game, which amongst other accessibility options supports touch input.
They do be surrounded by penguins.
They do be.
Rollick and Roll is a casual puzzle experience inspired by classic Marble Run playsets. By controlling the level itself, you'll help to guide colourful toy vehicles to their goals.
This isn't my type of game, but I think it's got a place for sure.
Of corresponding
Yeah.
obstacles. These obstacles are distinguished by their contrasting colours and unique shapes. If your vehicle falls off the track, a countdown will alert you to an automatic restart. As you complete each challenge, you'll be rewarded with new vehicles as well as the opportunity to compete at a harder difficulty.
I'm interested in how
However, there are always opportunities to pause and plan your next move.
how they can make this accessible though.
The game's fixed viewpoint maximizes comfort for all players, and the flipbook interface helps to maintain visual continuity. Convenient audio-visual cues ensure that literacy is not a requirement to play, although you'll find support for over a dozen languages. Players can rebind keyboard commands to their satisfaction.
Did they say that electricity isn't required?
Color configuration
I don't
is
know.
also available for
That
players
must have
Doesn't make
with
sense.
their own palette.
I must be mishearing.
Rollick and Roll is still under development, but please try out the demo on Steam and tell your friends.
Rollick and Roll.
Rollick and roll.
It's a cute little goblin running a cute little shop. You dig the dirt off trinkets, clean them up, and then
That's
sell them to
fire.
customers.
Yeah, this is cool.
Maybe you upcycle them. Maybe you make a tidy profit. Maybe you invest that gold into your shop, customizing it, expanding it, and trying out new and better
Hell
tools.
yeah. Just
And
looks
we,
sick.
the goblins developing it, have been trying out new and better ways to ensure that as many of you as possible can enjoy it. For example, during cleaning play, we've added a dirt highlighter, which helps you find that last little bit of grime, and we chose to colour it blue to accommodate as much of the range of colour vision deficiency as possible. Plus, now we highlight a trinket's edge when the sponge is hovering over it, for extra confidence. The player can navigate their shop with the arrow keys, whilst controlling camera movement speed, and being able to toggle the camera edge movement on or off. You can now also rotate trinkets with the WASD keys, whilst choosing the object rotation speed that suits you best. We added a quest tracker to ensure you always know what to do to meet your customers' needs, even after a break from the game.
That bed
It
looks so
allows you to find
uncomfortable.
what you need with a simple click
I
of an
know.
icon. Plus, it enables you to recall important customers, so you can take your
I don't
time.
think people use beds like that.
There's the trinket tracker, handily tracking every trinket you've found,
Oh, drop my
upcycled,
phone.
and
Sorry
sold.
if that was really
Of
loud.
course,
Chat.
that's on top of everything we showed in last year's accessibility video. There are intentionally no fail states, time pressures, or skill gates. In response to player feedback, we allow players to choose several control modes for cleaning and chipping. All core interactions are achievable with just the mouse, whilst the keyboard can be used for navigation as well. We chose a sans serif font, and we allow you to control the size and speed it displays at. In fact, we recently got nominated for our work on this, which is of course very rewarding.
Nice.
We're excited to work
This
with
game's
the
cute.
community
I like
to
it.
learn
Yeah,
and
I
implement
could
even
definitely
I wonder
more
what it's on.
accessibility features
getting
into
into
the
this.
game. Trash Goblin is out now.
Steam.
on
Okay.
Sick.
This
I love this
fast-paced
game.
first-person retro shooter is Blow Up: Avenge Humanity, a game developed by Half-Sunk Games. The team at Half-Sunk
I've seen
Games
this
provided a series of
before.
accessibility features so that
It looks
This looks
fire.
like
I like it.
Wolfenstein type stuff.
Yeah, have you ever seen Ultra Kill? Like that
No,
game?
I haven't.
It's very, very similar to Ultra Kill, it looks like.
Now you won't miss them.
Ultra Kill
If not
is
enough,
incredible.
the
It's an incredible
visuals
game.
in background and highlight important options to help you see even clearer. This is an extremely frantic game, packed with lots of action and fast movements, which is why it also has accessibility options for UI and screen effects. Try reducing the opacity of the HUD, or changing the crosshair, deactivate some more effects, and customize the screen to your liking. Last but not least, it's also possible for players to regulate the amount of screen shake they will experience, as well as reducing or increasing their field of view. This way, people prone to dizziness in first-person games can have an easier time playing, although we're still working on finding
Heck yeah,
ways
man.
to make the game accessible to all players. If you liked it, please consider
This looks very similar
suggesting
to
the
Ultra
game on
Kill, and
Steam.
I like
Join
it.
our Discord server and stay tuned to the Half-Sunk Games and Blow Up social
I see them
so you
asking
don't miss a single thing
for you to
about
wishlist
Blow
it.
Up.
I never thought that it makes sense though that they like track that metric of how many wishlist like ads they get.
Hoodie that says assigned
Yeah.
at first on it with intropology.com in tiny letters. My project is called Intropology. It's a narrative-driven queer indie game that's performed live by real actors online. I'm showing you
What?
some footage now of different moments in
Whoa.
live performance with actors in webcam views on the left-hand side and an interaction panel on the right, which has things like voting options and text entry boxes. Here, the view of the
That's
Kinda
crazy.
wild.
What?
Yeah, this is kinda wild.
Lots of text code and swirling neon shapes that are being procedurally generated. The show is all about alien anthropologists in a multiverse that faces a cataclysmic breakdown in the nature of reality.
This is fire.
Next performance is
This
on the
is sick.
15th of June, and you can register
Okay,
to
that makes
see it
sense.
at
Okay, I thought this was like
Oh.
24/7. I was like, what?
Yeah.
through a web app that looks like the main character's janky computer desktop. For example, in this footage, there's a purple taskbar at the top of the screen, and it looks like the
That
empty
makes so
right
much more
button is in a
sense.
video
Yeah.
game program. The UI is all really simple, as if you're using a minimalist version
I was
of the
thinking that they
game you
like
see on a Raspberry
they like
Pi.
acted out
Our
every
interaction
possible
mechanics are a bit
like,
like
you
the
know,
narrative-driven
Yeah.
possibility and then
The
it like
actors
chose
answer what the main
which
character
one
will say
depending
and
on your
do.
choices.
Sometimes they get to write things in that they will say in a stream of consciousness rant. Combining games and theatre in this way allows us to bring interactive theatre to people who experience barriers to accessing venues due to disability.
This is awesome.
chronic
So
illness,
that's
or
cool.
regional
Yeah, that is cool.
inequality. All of our shows
Never
have
seen. I've
featured
never seen anything like
captions,
this.
ESL interpretation, and
In like the video game
community
space. So
How do I look? Oh god, my skin looks so pale in this black wig.
Some audio description is integrated into the script, and we're working on expanding our audio description to include everything that's on screen in a way that reflects the different worlds that our characters inhabit.
The interface you have accessed resembles a dressing table made of holly, inlaid with decorative veneers of ebony, purple heart, and sycamore.
We've designed the experience to be compatible with many of the access accommodations people use for browsing the internet, such as screen readers. But this isn't fully tested, and audio from the screen reader might clash with audio from the performance sometimes. There is also a potential photosensitivity risk in some aspects of our show. Intropology aims to tell stories about how worlds become smaller and more fragmented, how we can reconnect, and how we can build better worlds together. If that sounds exciting to you, please register for our next performance on the 15th of June. You can register at intropology.com/tickets.
okay.
Yeah, that was unique.
I'm very pleased to be back for
Hello, Sightless
edition of
Combat.
the Accessibility Summer Showcase. Thank you so much to the organisers for having me on board for this. It's always great to be able to talk about cool, new, fun and interesting and, of course, most importantly, accessible games. Now, for those that don't know me, I'm an award-winning multi-credited accessibility consultant and gamer without sight, having never had
There you
any
go.
sight whatsoever.
Accessibility
From
consultant.
the UK,
Yeah.
also accessible gaming officer for RNIB, that is Royal National Institute of Blind People, the UK-based sight loss charity. By way of a description, I'm a white man with light facial hair wearing a cap with my logo on it, a pair of crossed swords intersecting an eye, and in my background is a large amount of gaming memorabilia that I've accumulated over the years as part of what my community has called the Wall of Stuff. Now, as to the game I'm going to introduce to you today, if you're not familiar with it, it's actually one that I've played before in a demo form, and it's from a genre that is kind of accessible by accident or by trial and error, depending on who you ask, and that is rhythm games. Yes,
Hey.
let's talk about an accessible rhythm game, and I played the demo, I think it was last year, and was very, very pleased and impressed. And I've been keeping an eye on it ever since, and the developers have continued to make updates even to the demo build, and added audio description and a bunch of other interesting, cool accessibility settings like remappable controls.
You like any rhythm games?
To see, but
Sam?
I played the Guitar Hero Aerosmith back in the day.
Okay.
That's about it though. Like, what was that one that's on mobile that was like, it's like where you're the block and you're like jumping over spikes and stuff.
Geometry Dash.
Yeah, that one.
I'm a big Guitar Hero. Well, I play Clone Hero, which is the free like desktop version where you can like download your own songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people play the Fortnite, the Fortnite like Guitar Hero
Festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played that quite a bit whenever it first came out. I don't play Fortnite hardly at all anymore, but.
Yeah.
Scene: a sparkling blue ocean under a pale blue sky. In the bottom left corner of the frame, an orange cat wearing red shorts and holding a camera stands on the deck of a small boat. The boat bobs gently up and down in the water. Ah, the open ocean. This seal loves to bop the beach.
Yeah, you're right. We need a new voice.
To snap a photo. Next,
No, I'm telling you, man.
Like bad.
Then a purple seal
If I was blind,
from
I would
be petitioning.
To get a new voice to text to speech voice,
Man,
because
for
I
real.
can't. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to as well. Yeah, it's so like flat too. Like there's no.
Yeah. When you hear the bell, get ready to watch the ball for the timing.
The seal emerges from the water and bounces the ball twice, then bops it back into the air on the third hit. Great. Now get out there and snap some photos.
Bits and Bops features more than 20 rhythm minigames, each with simple controls. The game's catchy, upbeat original tunes are sure to have you bopping along, while beautiful hand-drawn 2D art helps bring everything to life.
An instruction manual sits slightly askew.
I've seen this.
Table.
I actually have seen this. I didn't realize that was this game.
Fill the frame. The blocks move smoothly from box 1 to box 2. The window blind is down and the room is dim.
I have seen that before.
Yeah.
The blind lifts to reveal a blue wren on the windowsill where the radio previously sat. The birds talk about their home lives. The wren raises a family and the canary eats chips.
Oh, one rhythm game. It wasn't like necessarily a rhythm game, but it had like some mini games that had like rhythm aspects to it. Was the Atlantis Square Pantis, a SpongeBob game. I played it on. Yeah, I played it on the Wii, and it had something like similar to that where you had to like go with the beat, and you had to press the right buttons to the beat.
That's crazy. I never played any SpongeBob games growing up, really. I watched a lot of SpongeBob, but I never played any other games.
Yeah, I actually loved that Atlantis Square Pantis game.
Just one trailer left before we draw to a close. I want to very quickly thank everyone whose work allowed this year's Accessibility Summer Showcase to take place. A huge thank you to my wife and editor, Jane, who works incredibly hard to make sure this event every year is as polished as possible. A huge thanks to Brad Galloway, whose work on providing American Sign Language for the showcase every summer has been invaluable. A huge thank you to Sightless Combat, who has narrated the audio-described version of the Summer Showcase for the past 2 years. Thank you so much to every disabled gamer who took time to share their stories in this year's showcase, and every game developer who trusted me to showcase their games this year. And a massive thank you to Many Cat Studios, whose support sponsoring the show this year was instrumental in helping to ensure that our British Sign Language interpreted version of the showcase could go ahead with minimal stress. Currently, the plan is for us to return in December with the first Access Ability Winter Showcase. We had plans to launch the Winter Showcase in 2024, but due to some unexpected hurdles had to push back the event's debut. If you want to see more accessible game trailers, tune in Thursday, December 11th, 2025 at 4 PM UK, 11 AM Eastern and 8 AM Pacific. This first Winter Showcase will be a test run for making the showcase run twice annually, so tune in if you'd like to see the showcase regularly published every winter going forward. With that said, thank you all so much for tuning in to another Access Ability Summer Showcase. I hope you enjoy our last trailer and have a wonderful rest of your day.
This is Coming Home, a retro slasher horror game with a focus on
Fortnite, not Fortnite. Five Nights at Freddy's.
You are not defenseless. Watch the
I like
cameras
their
burn
stinger.
doors and have your gun at the ready.
The accessibility stinger.
Oh yeah.
But our approach to accessibility
It's a little bit of a producer lingo, if you guys don't know. No, I wouldn't expect you guys to get it. No, it's fine.
But the game can position captions where the sound came from. High contrast mode can
Five Nights at Freddy's.
shut down rippers
It does look like it.
intractable elements with brighter, more distinct colors to
I
help
don't like
distinguish them
that.
from the environment.
Yeah, that is creepy.
Collectible documents and plain text transcripts to help with readability, as well as visual
Dude,
descriptions.
I've never
The
been.
game also
I've
features screen reader
I've really
support for
never
these
played
transcripts,
like
as well as all
a
UI
super like
elements.
horror game
While the
other than
default
like
control
maybe
scheme
I played
uses
Until
keyboard
Dawn.
and mouse, you can play the game
I loved
with
Until
either
Dawn. That was a good
That
game.
was really good.
Controller support is also
But like
implemented,
you know,
and
there's a
you
lot
can
of the
let your
famous
firing,
like
holding an
horror
input can
games
be
like
changed through a toggle. Coming Home is
what was that
presented
one
as an
that like
authentic 80s slasher
God
film.
dang, I can't.
The CRT and VHS
Let me
effects
think.
can be toned
It was
down or even disabled to enhance readability.
Hold on,
Coming
I'm gonna
Home
look it up.
categorizes all sound effects and allows you to tweak their volumes by category. You can increase the volume of
Amnesia,
conspicuous
that's what
sounds
it was.
revealing the Ripper's
Oh, yeah,
possessions,
yeah.
but decrease the volume of sound effects that can trigger
I've never
misophonia. The
like
persistent
gotten
crosshair
into a
can be
game like
enabled
that,
to help
but
with
they
motion
look
sickness,
interesting.
as well as an aim cone to
They do. I've
visualize
tried
the
playing
range
Amnesia
of the
several times, and
revolver.
I
We're dead
haven't
set
been
on
able
making
to.
sure anyone can play Coming Home, no matter what their
I haven't been able to really
The
get
Sundown
into
Rippers don't discriminate.
it before.
They are
It's always just too
When it's
much for me.
sundown, no one
Yeah,
can
Not
because
like the horror aspect, but like it's just it's like a whole system that you have to like
yeah,
learn.
right. And like whenever I was younger, like in middle school, I'd see like YouTubers playing Amnesia or something, and it made me want to
Yeah.
play them. But then I don't know, they're just not like my style, I guess. Was that the end of it?
I believe she said that was the last trailer. I don't know if that's gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just gonna fade to black.
I thought there
I
would
guess
be
that's what
like
their game plan was.
an outro.
An
Oh, hey,
outro.
there we go. Okay, yeah. So we got the.
That wasn't even really an outro. That was
No,
just.
it was just the ending screen. All right.
We're Magic
Yeah.
Gathering fans, in case you haven't figured it
Yeah,
out here at OUE Sports. Okay, but so that was the accessibility showcase. Thank you so much, Sam, for saving me there. It's a little early for me to be leading things on my own.
Oh yeah.
But I appreciate everyone for watching our kickoff for Summer Games Fest. Come back at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time because that will be where our pre-show begins for Jeff Keighley's event, Summer Game Fest, which we are co-streaming. And I am very, very excited to see what they have in store. This is going to be a very fun weekend. Hopefully, my audio is a little bit better. When we get to that time, I'm going to try and do some finagling to fix my old headset but it had some issues literally like 10 minutes before we started recording. So again, thank you guys so much if you are here. If you are not here, thank you for watching from the future. Sam, any words before we go to our 4-hour break?
No, not really. I'm just gonna say I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a fun couple days watching the Summer Games Fest, and yeah, I hope you guys are here to watch it with us.
Yeah, Sam won't be on the mic any longer throughout the rest of this, unless he wants to be, and then he's more than welcome to. But he just came here to save me today. But you will be greeted again at 3 by me and Joshua Octatonic Vision, your regular off-season hosts. I can't wait to see you there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you here in just a couple of hours.